What's up, everybody out there? How y'all doing? Artist of Strong Style here. Here again, of course, yeah. King of Skull Servants again, but yeah. As I always say, for how many times I've developed a way of different methods of how to play the King of Skull Servants deck, well, my way, I'll be willing to show you guys. Even though if it's the same exact deck as always, I don't care. Whether you guys like them or not, or, write down in the comments, stop doing this. Well, sorry, it's just, maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't, but I'm willing to show you guys each and every single method of how I develop playing the deck. Now, this King of Skull Servant deck is, of course, different method, different way, because there are only magic cards in here. So yeah, if you saw the last one, there was some trap cards in there. This time, it's only magic cards, and a little engine, also, of using the King of Skull Servants deck. So yeah, new monster cards, and it's nothing but magic cards. No trap cards. So yeah, we'll go on with the deck now. So yeah, King of Skull Servants deck is, you're basically depending on your 3 King of Skull Servants. Your boss monster of the deck is only a level 1 monster, as always. Now remember, just a level 1 monster. It's easy to... Just this one level 1 monster compared to all these other monsters that we know. You have to do 3 moves all at once? Or if you're going to tribute, again, double tribute, 1 tribute. And that's paying a cost for using more cards than just playing 1 card. Remember, for King of Skull Servants, for every Skull Servant that is in the graveyard, times 1,000, the attack of King of Skull Servants will become. If it is destroyed by battle, you can remove from play a Skull Servant and revive this right back. If it is destroyed by a card effect, well then no, doesn't go. Then you got the 3 original Skull Servants, which is, yes, Skull Servant. It is Skull Servant, but then remember, every other card that is put in here that is not called Skull Servant is going to be called Skull Servant. Is going to be mentioned as Skull Servant in the graveyard. Now, the new one that came out, of course, the White Lords. This is the new one, White Lords. For each Skull Servant that you have in your graveyard, or King of Skull Servant in your graveyard, you can discard this card from your hand, discard as many cards for how many you have in total if you want to from the deck. So that's more discarding cards. White Lords. Now what I like about it also is you can remove from play White Lord and special summon a King of Skull Servant. So it's like Mizuki. Think of it as you're going to have more Mizukis. This is the one you're going to be using to bring King of Skull Servant. And it is mentioned as Skull Servant as well. Then, White Baking. When you have a level 3 or lower zombie monster you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can discard White Baking and search for 2 to keep 1 alive. So most likely you want to protect your King of Skull Servant if it would be destroyed by battle, or, maybe they have a high monster that can kill a King of Skull Servant. Most likely no, if you have a huge monster of a high attack compared to the monster that they have. So maybe just say Raigeki. They want a Raigeki, you can play White Baking, throw that away, save your King of Skull Servant, but whatever it's going to be, whatever else is going to be destroyed is destroyed. Then you search for 2 cards that's King of Skull Servant or mentioned as Skull Servant. Add those 2 to your hand. 1 must go away, and your other must stay in your hand of the 2 that you chose. And of course, you got the White Princess. 3 White Princess. Once summon out, you can send away a White Prince from your deck to the graveyard. The other effect of the White Princess is during either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand or from the field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to the number to their own monster of a level or ranked times 300. So this is by a ranked also. Too bad it's not for links. I wish it was, but it's not. Then the original White Prince. When White Prince is sent to the graveyard, you send away a Lady in White and a King of Skull Servant from your hand or in the graveyard, or from your deck to the graveyard. White Prince sends away the 3. So that's almost like, remember, there's a total of White Skull Servants, which, yeah, all these are considered Skull Servants, mentioned as Skull Servant. That's almost like White Princess. You send away your regular Skull Servant, and a White Prince, and a Lady in White. And yeah, you're going to have up to like 3. For how many you have? 3. 3 Skull Servants in your graveyard to make possibly a Skull Servant up to 3,000 attack. I was using 2, but it's only 1 White Mirror now. So it's only 1 White Mirror. And yeah, all of them is mentioned. But yeah, when it's treated card, it's called Skull Servant when it's in the graveyard. All of them are mentioned as Skull Servant. Even though they're not called Skull Servant, like the original, just Skull Servant, they are mentioned as Skull Servant in the graveyard. Now, and then of course, yeah, with zombies, Mizuki. Now remember, Mizuki, remove from play, special summon a zombie. White Lord is exactly like Mizuki. Remove from play, special summon a zombie. You want to special summon your King of Skull Servant. Remove from play, special summon a King of Skull Servant. That's like 6 Mizukis you have. 6. Crazy, huh? That's what I like about the White Lord. Of course, it's going to help you mill for how many Skull Servants and King of Skull Servant you have in the graveyard. So I could be milling like maybe 10 cards, since I have done that before. And I have gotten like 6 more Skull Servants in the graveyard. But then remove from play, special summon a King of Skull Servant. Mizuki is the same thing. Remove from play, special summon a zombie. And the only zombie you want to bring back is King of Skull Servant. Remove from play, special summon King of Skull Servant. 6 Mizukis. Now the only little monsters I put in is, of course, you're going to go a little Light Sworn Engine. Just a little Light Sworn Engine. So, Raiden is a tuner. When summoned out, send 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. End phase, discard another 2 cards. So a little helper to, draw some more. And then just Lila, Sorceress. When summoned on the field, you can switch to defense mode, pop a magic or trap. End phase, send away the top 3 cards. The only lights ones I will use. Raiden, of course, you want to use. It is a tuner, so sometimes you might be able to synchro, play whatever. So most like a tuner, synchro. And then Lila, just because I'll tell you the truth, she's my favorite lights one, so that's why I'll use it. It's just my favorite lights one monster. And then of course, yeah, just a little. When you switch to defense mode, pop a magic or trap. Wait until the next 2 turns until you can reverse it right back to attack mode, and do the effect once again. The only lights ones. So yeah, that's the difference between the monsters. Now it's just magic cards now. So, charge a Light Brigade. No solar recharge. Just charge a Light Brigade. Send away the top 3 cards. So yeah, you're sending away cards. This is to help you send away cards. And hopefully you can get some of the Skull Servants into the graveyard. Then you search for any level 4 or lower lights ones. Which yeah, you have your 4. Now here's the cost of it. If you do not have a light sworn, if you used all your light sworns or they're just in your hand, charge the Light Brigade will not work. But that's what it says. It says add 1 level. It does not say you can add 1 level. No, it has to be you add 1 level. So hopefully that doesn't really affect you as much. But yeah, charge your Light Brigade, no solar recharge, and those are the only lights one monsters. Then, of course, if you need to, well, yeah, you should put in Forbidden Droplets. Target any number of cards your opponent has on the field. Discard that many for how many you chose. Effects negated. The attack's cut in half. Only for that one turn. And you can only play once per turn. So sometimes that can be, yeah, some of the Skull Servants you do not want in your hand. Get rid of those. Get rid of the Mizuki. Get rid of the White Lords. Whatever you need. Then there's Book of Moon. 2 Raigeki. 1 Arpy's Feather Duster. A 1-for-1. Foolish Burial. Monster Reborn. And then Opti Camouflage Armor. I use 1. And of course, yeah. This is just totally a messed up card. Old card, messed up card because you equip this to a level 1 monster. Your level 1 monster is King of Skull Servant. Now the equipped monster to this card, it can attack your opponent's life points directly. So imagine that huge, big of a monster, it attacks directly. So yeah, no trap cards. Just magic cards. Now, since you do have a tuner, most likely you're not going to depend on using an extra deck, but if you need to, just, alright. So, Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon at level 7. Now, okay, if I had the chance, well, maybe sometimes I do, I would play Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon because it is a tuner, any tuner. It doesn't have to be a zombie tuner. Gains attack equal to the attack and defense of each zombie monster on the field and in the graveyard. When another zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon 1 zombie monster from either graveyard to your field. That's again fine. Bring out a King of Skull Servants, and then yeah, times 100. So look how many Skull Servants you could have, or look how many zombies you have. All the Skull Servants are zombies. If you need to, Black Rose Dragon. Michael is pretty much an okay card to have in, because you would have to pay 1,000 life points to banish a card on the field, and then at the end phase, discard the top 3 cards. If you need to, Mega Frame Omega, of course, a good one. No Karibo, no Link Karibo anymore, so of course, Relinquish Anima, IP Masquerena, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn. You are highly going to make these, but I would just put them in because, you could play in whatever, put in within is just Appaloosa, and then Goddess Closed World. You are rarely going to make this because, yeah, you're going to have like barely a little bit on the field. But, I would just put them in just because, they're cool cards to have Sometimes you would make at least the Nightmare Phoenix or IP Masquerena. Of course, yeah, the anima you might be putting, because yeah, it's only a level 1. And there are times when I have done this and I've brought right back my King of Skull Servants, even if I wasted it. So don't think of it like, all right, I use my King of Skull Servant, I'm going to use it for a link, or I'll get rid of it and go Relinquish Anima, but I did not really waste that effect. So just, yeah, if you really need to, I would just put these in just because, yeah. Maybe just the Synchro, just because I have a tuner. But yeah, if you really much, I don't depend on this a lot. But if you really need to sometimes, well then, that's my extra deck. But most likely the whole point of the deck is just your boss monster. And trying to make it as powerful as you can. That's all the point is. So yeah, King of Skull Servants. It's another different kind of method. Of course, you're using a bit of Lightsworn. So yeah, only magic cards now. Only magic cards and the King of Skull Servant. So yeah, like I just said, Lightsworn. Working with the King of Skull Servants, charge the library gates to help you, and then yeah, just a little bit of, difference I did, because yeah, no needle bug nest, no any of those cards. I could switch it up for a side deck, but as to tell you the truth, I don't like to play side decks. So it's just that one simple deck. And then what the decks I do, I try to make like 3 decks into one to make it like you're not going to use a side deck. Like, of course, yes, with the Lights one, you can try in other Lights ones. You can try to put in the Zombie World, whatever. So if I play those cards in here, if I play those cards as my side deck, no, I would want to put everything like all together. So it's like if I made a deck where I'm going to be using zombies, Zombie World, your Banshee, the and other Lights ones. Yeah, most players, they would play that as a side deck. Me, no, I would put it in as it's everything put together. The only reason I'm not putting in is because that would be like a 60 card deck. And I've seen most zombie decks that use up to 60 cards. This is only up to 44, I believe. And I'm trying to make it up to like it's only 44 cards, 45 or less. I forgot the count. Let me see. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3. 45 cards. 45 cards. 45 cards, or at least up to 40, is what I would want to do. If I need to, yes, I'll put those in, but then I'm just going to put it as one actual deck. I'm not going to play a side deck. So yeah, there you have it. A different method, another method of playing the King of Skull Servants. So yeah, test hands will be coming up. Hope you guys enjoy this. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be speaking to y'all later. Peace.